So I ended up uploading a video of the missing instructions from the Sally Hansen Hard as Nails um collection, or like nail treatment, and I got some awesome feedback, and that video gained a tiny bit of traction, and it was fun chatting with everybody and learning a bunch of new things. So I kind of wanted to talk about it, and there's a lot of people were actually quite surprised. They didn't realize that this is a nail treatment and not a nail polish. uh in fact, the reason I ended up looking touching back on these 25-year-old ones is initially I saw Taylor, not a nail tech, swatching her like old Sally Hansen's that looked like this, and I commented about how much I hate that formula, and she reminded me that it's not a nail polish, it's a nail treatment. So that made me like think, I'm like, oh yeah, like these bottles used to come with these really ridiculously long instructions, and they don't anymore. uh, so I ended up digging my bottles from 25 years ago out to just reminisce and look at them. And I found the one bottle with the instructions. So the reason I ended up purchasing this color, someone suggested it as a dupe for one of my pure ice nail polishes. Unfortunately, it's not a dupe. But that ended up snowballing into like this extensive like little research project for me. So I found, this bottle. So this was a prom set. It was like a box set of the four nail polishes. Well, the three nail like colors, and then the base slash top coat. At the time, you're 14 years old, you only have access to the drugstore, you have like the little bit amount of money that you make from babysitting. Maybe, you would get birthday money or something like that. And, you don't think about, you go to the drugstore, you see this, like, you see like the Maybelline nail polishes, you see L'Oreal nail polishes. They're all expensive. Some of them are all like $10 and stuff, and you're like, how like can I stretch my birthday money? And then you see Sally Hansen, and then you kind of like look at Sally Hansen because they had like their whole wall at the drugstore just for them, and they had treatments and cuticle removers and nail tools and all this. Like they had decals. Like aside from maybe Kiss, Sally Hansen was like everywhere at the drugstore. So you kind of looked up to this product thinking, okay, they are probably the holy grail of product. The internet wasn't really a thing. I think AOL just came out. It was, you lived in the real world back then. You didn't live online. So you didn't learn as quickly, like you didn't absorb information as quickly to know that, base slash top coats suck. You want to get them separate. So, tween me ended up repurchasing it because although you were able to get box sets from time to time, these guys were also available individually, like these guys. And they were packaged. It, were depending on where you shopped differently. Sometimes they came in like these paperback kind of, hangy packages. Other times they were loose like this. They also came in actual boxes sometimes, even the individual ones. The loose bottles, they would have like this kind of, you see, sticker, but you would peel the sticker up, and inside it would be the paper instructions. And the reason I remember these paper instructions distinctly, I even remember they came in English, Spanish, and French, is because sometimes there would be a coupon attached to them. And back then, I would clip my coupons. I would try to save money that way. Now you can use an app. And they would be for anywhere from 50 cents to $1. And, once in a blue moon, maybe $1.50 off a Sally Hansen nail product. And, I would be over the moon when I would get that, right? So back then, I wouldn't even read the dang instructions. I would try to use this as a nail polish, and I ended up hating them. I hated the nail polish. I ended up shoving these into my caboodle. Maybe tried to use them once or twice and then never used them again, and hadn't bought nail polish from Sally Hansen since. I have experienced the Instant Dry line and the Extreme Wear line since, because I found some bottles at the Dollar Tree, and Sally Hansen has redeemed herself in my eyes. However, I shouldn't have hated her, because this is a nail treatment and I wasn't doing it right. You're supposed to paint 1 coat, 2 coats max for 5 days, and then start the process over again, according to the back of this bottle. It does also say to refer to the extensive instructions, which, I threw out, never read. And I'm assuming a lot of people did that. They never read the instructions, and then Sally got a bad rap. So, somewhere between those 25-year-old nail polishes to today's nail polish, we've lost the instructions. And I think it's because the company changed ownership. So, these guys are from when Dell Laboratories owned them. This guy is from when Cody acquired the company. So Cody now owns Sally Hansen. So somewhere between 25 years ago to now, we have lost the instructions. So sometime in 2000, somewhere in the 2000s, I'm assuming exactly in 2007, when Cody acquired it, that's when they stopped attaching the little pamphlets to the bottles, because I think that's when the bottle shape changed. I may be wrong. I'm actually just guessing, so I may be wrong, but that is my assumption, and I think based on my memory and based on what I found online, my assumption is pretty much accurate. So another thing that some people mentioned online is, like, they're like surprised by these instructions, and they've never heard of instructions like this before. Other people are actually, oh wow, this is exactly like OPI's Nail Envy. And I was like, okay, cool, let me check out OPI's Nail Envy. So when I was purchasing the regular OPIs from the Dreaming collection, because they reminded me of a lot of the colors of pure ice nail polish that I own, I saw the OPI Nail Envy line, and I was kind of like, what is this? But I didn't really look into it. But when you guys commented about it being the same instructions, I was like, okay, I gotta look at this. I've gotta check it out, right? And sure enough, the instructions are quite similar. So here you have the OPI Nail Envies, and they come in different colors. Not as many as the regular OPIs, but see, you can get a red one. I think this one's a pink one. I think that's a baby pink one. So they're like the standard generic kind of colors that you would see at the salon a long time ago. They're not like crazy ones like blue and purple. But I scrolled down to the instructions, and here we have them. Apply 2 coats to bare nails, followed by an additional coat daily. Remove on day 7 if desired. So essentially the only way that they vary is OPI recommends 2 coats. Sally Hansen kind of just recommended the 1 coat, and then said second coat is a max option. And then it was after 5 days you remove it, start over. Exactly 5 days you remove it, start over. However, because I don't have the pamphlet that came with the nail polish, I don't know the extent of the instructions. They may have varied depending on the outcome you wanted. So chances are the instructions probably were more similar to the OPI, where once you completed the 5 days worth of treatment, you could have worn it like a nail polish until it started to chip or crack, and then you would start the treatment over. So yeah, that's essentially my little rant for today, but I thought this was all really interesting. I had a lot of fun talking to everybody. It was super cool to, like, bounce comments back and forth off of people, like, all the information I got, which led me down this rabbit hole to look up more information. And I don't know, it was kind of a fun learning experience. Anyway, this video is ridiculously long. I think longer than anything I ever did. And I'm probably talking really fast because I just want it to be as short as possible. So I'm going to end it here. See you guys later. Bye.